This didn't happen to the auto companies overnight. For years, they've been sick.
The Big Three's financial trouble has turned into what I think is an open season on organized labor. Here's a bit of that logic from Mark Kirk, Republican congressman from Illinois.
When some employees have a right to 120 days of vacation time, that is not, I worry that unless properly structured, this is a bailout of the United Auto Workers, not General Motors.
Senator Jim DeMint of South Carolina is going even a little further.
So will it be a bailout or bankruptcy? AIG got a bailout. Why not GM?
The financial markets, which provide the credit for all of us, will get better as a result of the money that Congress has set aside.
Doesn't really make sense. Doesn't really make sense.
Also not fair to blame the thing on the workers. Not fair to ask the workers to take concessions.
It'll ultimately result in more job loss by the Big Three if we don't allow them to restructure in a way that they can make a profit long term. The Big Three were still losing money because of their just built-in labor and financial costs.
The contracts negotiated with the United Auto Workers that impose huge costs. For these automakers, it's $73. So you've got huge costs there. The people who would be paying the bill for this, the average worker in the United States, I don't know how you distinguish.
Bankruptcy protection was created so companies could continue to operate. And we've got some pretty successful car companies in the Southeast where we have non-union states. The employees are paid well, the benefits are good. They're not gold-plated. But the gold-plated benefits will eventually bring them down, and that's what's happening to the Big Three.
You think that's what's killing Detroit, is union contracts?
Primarily, it's the inflexibility that's caused by unionization. They can't change their lines. They can't make quick decisions because there's a third-party arbitration that takes place. There's no way the Big Three can be competitive with the barnacles of unionization long-term. Management has been backed into a wall because government basically backs the unions with the special rights of forcing people to join, special rights of allowing them to use union dues for political purposes. So what we have right now is the Democrats paying back the unions with this auto bailout, and the unions paying them back every election by getting out the vote.
The union contracts are not helping, and those legacy contracts, six-figure salaries.
You know, again, that's a big falsehood that exists.
So auto workers are the fat cats here, and the bozos who turned the entire banking business into a Three Stooges pie fight, they've got access to a spigot running hot and cold oodles of taxpayer cash? I'm sorry, but this sounds like the worst kind of class warfare, being fought against the blue-collar class.
For union workers, when most Americans do not make six figures. I mean, that's the problem. But when we get a new president in January, he carried union states, John.
This economic downturn is not the fault of the auto workers.
There's payback.
You made those last rounds of pretty big concessions.
He also is pushing that Free Choice Act, the so-called Union Vote Act that takes away the secret ballot.
The critics that taken on the unions here are totally wrong, and there are so many misconceptions out there that it's unbelievable.
I mean, my question is, with all of this that we keep talking about, is when is it going to be enough? You do, well, you gave financial companies help. The automakers deserve the same help. It's 1 in 10 jobs attached to the auto industry. That figure is true, but going into bankruptcy does not mean going out of business. It's bankruptcy protection.
Restructure, reorganize, get rid of the contracts that are bringing them down.
If you pay the auto workers or the benefits and all of those things are maybe too high. $2,000 of each car just goes to benefits. Reducing all of that, and then if they have to act together and have renegotiated those deals.
Has some degree of health care and have some degree of pension. How does that cause the problem?
That's what happens when we start bailing out different businesses across the country.
It's a terrible bit of hypocrisy. We've been giving money hand over fist to the financial industry, $1.7 billion in loans. $3 billion in investments, or excuse me, $3 trillion in investments, $3 trillion in guarantees. And deregulating the financial markets was like letting 3-year-old kids loose in a candy store. You know they're going to gorge themselves, make themselves sick, and then when you go to get them, they'll throw up on your shoes. And that's what's happening to us.